Rich Eisen joins us now. Welcome to the holiday party, Rich. Thanks for joining us.
My God, you have peyote in your eggnog? What are you guys doing over there? That exchange, you know what that sounded like to me with Fritzy coming out in this robe?
Yeah.
That was like that Goodfellas. I thought you said you was all right, Spider. No, I didn't say I was all right. No, I thought you said you was all right, Spider. That's what that exchange sounded like.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry you had to hear that. Well, welcome to the party, though.
Well, Dan, I didn't bring anything, but thank you, though.
You fit in with everybody else.
Very good.
Okay.
Very good.
We had this topic yesterday, a few topics, but one was,
Yes.
whose career would you want to have, Dan Marino's or Eli Manning?
Well, obviously that's the quintessential. One has a ring and the other one doesn't have one. I don't know how you turn down Dan Marino's career. I just don't know how you do that with all those records, and I know that Eli has the career. So I'll go Dan. I'll go Dan Marino. He played in a Super Bowl. He didn't win one. He's got tons of records. He's a Pro Football Hall of Famer, first ballot, which I proffer to say Eli won't be. And he was an Ace Ventura pet detective. Nobody could take that away from him, Dan. Laces out.
The Tom Brady story, the timing of it I thought was interesting because you just beat Pittsburgh. You don't like distractions. You've got a distraction. You got 2 more regular season games. But what do you think happened that would lead Bill Belichick to say, I'm going to kick Tom's health guru off the plane and off the sidelines?
I have no earthly idea, and normally that would be a story that would subsume a franchise going for a Super Bowl. But the Patriots put velvet ropes around their team and just knock it all down. I have no idea what the heck happened right there. And ordinarily, like I said, this would be something that people keep asking him questions. I saw some exchange where somebody asked him if this was similar to him being a parent and trying to keep one of his children away from somebody that wasn't beneficial to their well-being. And he just stared at the guy and goes, why would you bring my children into this? I mean, it's a perfect exchange right there, to the point where the back and forth ended with the reporter apologizing for being his question being a poor one.
Seton,
and that's the way things go in New England.
Seton, play it. What Rich is talking about, the exchange between the reporter and Belichick.
Hold on, let me get a fork and knife and stick a napkin down my shirt here.
Okay,
this is great.
Here we go. All right.
Coach, would you say that Tom's relationship with his trainer is like if your adult son or child is hanging out with somebody you didn't really care for all that much? I mean, it's your adult child. What are you supposed to say?
I'm not really sure what the question. I mean, you're talking about my children. I don't really think that's appropriate here. I'm trying to coach a football team. Like, what are we talking about here?
I just meant, is it something that kind of frustrates you because it takes the focus off of him taking coaching from you, in your opinion?
Again, there's a lot of pronouns there. Like, I don't really know who's talking about what.
It's better. Hold on.
Oh, that's all we had.
And he walks off, and the reporter says, "I'm sorry, it was a bad question."
Yes, it was. We've had this reporter on, Paulie, haven't we?
Mark Dondero, yes.
But I think he was very proud of his questions.
He's a repeat offender, yeah.
Yeah.
Is this the one who comes across like he's the dude who tries to deal with Hans Gruber in Die Hard? Is that guy?
What was that?
Is it the same guy?
Bubby? But doesn't he get killed?
Ellis.
Bill, Bubby.
Forget
about my pronouns. Answer my question.
Ellis. It doesn't work well. Work out well for Ellis.
No, it does not.
Bubby.
Nor did it work out for Spider, by the way, in Goodfellas. So Todd should watch it.
All right, 19 teams are still alive.
Yes.
Is this a good thing?
Yeah, this is going to be great. I mean, right now, Dan, do the folks at your shop have an idea of what game 256 might be right now?
No.
I don't know. You might circle that Falcons
Carolina.
But I mean, as you know, NBC and the league don't really want it to be for seeding. They want a win or go home situation. Tennessee, Jacksonville might be that.
Yeah.
I honestly don't know what that final game's going to be. There's a lot of teams in it. You got one 10-win team in Jacksonville that's already clinched in the AFC, and 3 10-win teams in the NFC that haven't clinched a thing yet. They all have win and in scenarios this weekend, but the Falcons can crash that party, and you got the Cowboys trying to make a run that few people thought possible with Ezekiel Elliott coming back and potentially the window of opportunity for Seattle as we've known them of the Pete Carroll era. I think that we're seeing the end of the first iteration of the Russell Wilson Seahawks. We're going to see a second iteration of them with what's going to happen in this offseason. Phillip Rivers has got a shot here, a legit shot, because the Bills that are in front of them at 8-6.
Wait. Go back to what you said about Seattle. What do you think? Do you think Pete Carroll is going to stay there? Do you think?
Oh, I do.
Oh,
I
you
just
do?
think that they're going to. Oh, yes. I think you're about to see the second iteration of Russell Wilson, Pete Carroll. That maybe some of the Legion of Boom players may not be back. Right now, as you know, we're calling it on game day morning the Legion of Buh, because everybody's injured pretty much except for Earl Thomas. I think you're going to see some changes there on that roster. But no, I don't think Pete's going anywhere.
Okay.
But the Pete Carroll team that we've known with the defense as we've known them, and Russell Wilson with the players around him, you have to do something about that run game. You have to do something about the offensive line. Maybe some of these players on defense don't come back. I think that you're seeing a team in Seattle that's playing desperate football in Dallas this weekend in a must-win game for both of those teams. So there's still a lot of really intense action with a lot of chips yet to fall. So I like this. You don't? The 19 teams?
No, I do. I just like I like to have established, there a little separation there that I know mathematically that a lot of teams, these teams, not all 19 teams have great odds of making the playoffs, but I like that there's a little separation. I think it still feels like it's the Patriots and then everybody else. Do you feel that way?
Well, yeah. Well, TB12 is the reason why, and and at some point, the Steelers are going to end up playing a Tom Brady Patriot team and not lose one of their key players either in the middle of the game or going into the game. Maybe Antonio Brown comes back healthy enough and the Steelers get that bye week, and they're just one win away from having to go back to Foxborough. I can give you this scenario.
Okay.
You take a look at the teams that are in the playoffs, potentially in the AFC, most likely, and you've got the Chiefs, who I know have been bounced from Foxborough before, but if they show up in the same manner that they showed in Week 1, I think that would be a much tougher game than people think. And then the Ravens have had considerable success in that building, close calls and wins. They might show up there and keep Pittsburgh at home for the AFC Championship game. I mean, that's entirely possible. But, it does feel like the Patriots are just always going to be a step above everybody, not only because of Tom Brady. This is one thing that I don't think a lot of people have talked about, because we're lost amongst the catch, not a catch, and then, Big Ben saying, I wanted to spike it, but then I heard a voice in my head, and it was a coach, and blah, 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 is that the Patriots defensively were ready for the situation.
Yeah.
And they're one of the most situationally terrific teams, and all that I'm hearing this week is that Belichick tells all his receivers, do not dive for the goal line because you could see what happens. Otherwise, you get benched. So that's another reason why they're tough to beat.
Yeah, the fact that they were prepared for that, even the fact that he's telling his players, don't do what these other receivers are doing, and that is reaching for the goal line, the potential to lose the ball, have it go out of the end zone for a touchback is, there's no detail left, unchecked, no box there or stone unturned. It's incredible what they've been able to do.
I mean, the Spurs might be the only other team in sports that are come close to being situationally brilliant in any scenario that you could think of. I mean, they really are brilliant, and that comes into play in crucial moments like we saw this past week in the most crucial game of the regular season.
He's Rich Eisen from the NFL Network and also the Rich Eisen Show, and he'll be joining you at the top of the hour on DIRECTV Audience, Channel 239. Rich, what games do you have this weekend?
The Colts and the Ravens on NFL Network on Saturday. Please watch.
Yeah, then we're right after that.
And then I got to tell you that Christmas Day game right around middle of October when Deshaun Watson was crushing it, and Pittsburgh at Houston. We were circling this for Christmas Day, and didn't think that we'd have T.J. Yates against an Antonio Brownless Steelers, but it is what it is, as they say in the NFL, and we'll be there for it. It's a big one for Pittsburgh. They have to have it.
Thank you, Rich.
How was that for a sell job? Out of 10.
Unbelievable.
Out of 10.
Out of 10. 10. Yeah, 10-ish. 10-ish. Thank you, Rich.
Happy holidays.
You
Merry
too.
Christmas,
Merry Christmas. Thank you, Rich. That's Rich Eisen.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DIRECTV or download the Dan Patrick Show app.